the Fill the Funnel podcast with Jeff Swan
and Tom Slocum.
We're here to help you crush your targets
with tactical tips and insights you can act on today.
Don't have a fancy tech stack, a big budget, or even a huge team to lean on?
Well, it's time to get that solved today with FTF Fridays. Welcome, everybody, to another amazing episode of Fill the Funnel podcast. Here with your host, Tom Slocum, and my co-host, Jeff Swan. Today, we're going to talk about, today we're going to jump into creating your own luck. So we have this topic come up often for each other and in our networks. And really, can you create your own luck, or is it putting in the right preparation and consistent work to allow luck to find you? Can it be about being always in the right place? So I'll kick it off to you, Jeff, and start us off a little bit about, what are your thoughts on this? Does luck just happen, or is there some skill sets and steps to take to prepare yourself for it?
Well, it's funny. You actually hear this from a lot of people who don't necessarily have the best luck or whatever. They say, oh, wow, that Tom, he's so lucky. He always ends up, he's always there. He's always in the right place or whatever. Or he's always getting that great promotion. Or he's always blah, 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 getting the best leads, whatever you want to say. So the fact of the matter is that most people think that it's all about luck. But in truth, those who know, we know that it's really about preparing for luck. It's creating your own luck is the key to having good things happen to you. And so I really love this topic, and I'm really happy you brought this up, because I think it's something that people really need to think about and internalize and understand that they are in control and they can create their own luck.
100%. I think that, and I told you this before, is that luck is coming through town. Right. And you have to open yourself up for that luck to be received. It's coming through. It's wanting to knock on people's door. It wants to deliver that goodness. Right. The universe wants to pay it forward. It wants to help us in any way, shape, or form. But are you setting yourself up to receive it? And really, can you just stumble into luck? I don't think so. I think a lot of it is being at the right time, being right where you're supposed to be, and really preparing yourself by putting the nice, dinner out, setting the table, putting your house as welcoming. So as luck is coming through town, it wants to knock on your door. It'd be like, hey, you invited me in. Let me reward you for that. Versus I'm skipping that house. It's dark, daunting. It's not doing anything. So why would I show up there? What would invite me in? So it really comes down to a couple key pieces that I think you can do to prepare yourself for that luck. So the first being, and something that I would love to speak to first, is being open and what that means, being unbiased, vulnerable. So if you could share a little bit to you about how can you be open to receiving luck?
Yeah, this is a great one. So I've seen this. Tell me if you've seen this in sales organizations you've been part of or worked with, Tom. There's this one rep who everybody describes as lucky. He always gets the best leads. He always gets the ones that turn into those 6-7-figure opportunities. Have you heard that before?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so, tons, right? There's always this one person. I remember when I was selling electronics, there was this one guy named VJ, and every single day he happened to get lucky and get the one person that was buying 5 computers every day, right? And so I wanted to test the luck. So I stood by VJ. He was in a different department than me. He was selling computers. I was selling TVs, and I wanted to watch him. So I shadowed him one day, and I recognized every single day he was doing the same things. He was making the customer laugh, making them smile, understanding, asking a lot of questions, waiting for them to respond. And he was doing certain things that consistently produced a sales opportunity for him. Now, this is retail sales, so it's a little bit different than a lot of B2B that a lot of you folks are part of. But if you fast forward now to a couple of years back, there was one gentleman who was on my team, and he always tended to get the best leads. He always turned his opportunities into 6-figure deals, and he closed probably 3/4 of the things that he put in front of him. Then he goes off to another company, and in his first quarter does $500K in sales when the next closest person did 300. And so at this 2 organizations, everybody said the same thing. Rob is lucky. He's lucky, right? How does he get lucky? Well, I'm not going to describe the details, but did the exact same thing with Rob. I tried to understand what makes him so lucky. Well, he consistently listens to the customer. He consistently makes it interesting. He understands their problems and he knows how to tie those through. And he does it every single time. So when people say Rob is lucky, I say, no. Rob is good. He's really good.
He makes a great point there, right? Go ahead, wrap it up.
Yeah, sorry, just to wrap it up, is the whole reason why he's lucky is he treats every lead the same way. He's open, he's unbiased. They're good leads until they're not good leads. Okay? He's always open and he does his thing. So that's it.
A couple of key things he said in there, right, is being unbiased around the environment, right? Like, you can't assume everything. You know, what we tend to do in sales or in a lot of careers is get complacent, and you start to think that outcomes are going to happen based on what you've seen, right? I remember very early on in my sales career, I would disqualify somebody simply on how they filled out the form, because I was like, I've seen this too many times. This is lame. Like, it's not even going to work, right? But then you got to be open to just trying, right? Let it disqualify itself out, not you make that biased decision. Or as soon as you hear that objection, you just are like, oh, it's another one of these. Stop doing that and show up and consistently do your process. Rely on your skill, your ability, and your perseverance to capitalize on that opportunity, rather than relying on solely, the luck to create itself within that opportunity, right? Like you said, your two examples, they showed up, they relied on their skill, their ability, and they stayed true to it every single scenario, and they prepared themselves just like a baseball player. A baseball player cannot walk up to the plate and assume the pitcher is going to do the same thing or it's going to be this kind of pitch. Every scenario is different, and they have to go into it open with the one goal in mind: I'm going to hit the ball. I don't care if it's a single, a home run. I'm going to hit the ball, and I need to pay attention. So they prepare for all scenarios, and they're open to all scenarios. They don't go into it with a biased opinion. The other thing is, be everywhere there is opportunity. And when we talked this through, you were like, dude, this is you to a T, right? Is that people always are like, Tom, you're magical. How are you everywhere all the time? I don't know how you do it. And it's because I want to be wherever there's opportunity for myself or for others. I want to be there. Right? I'm in these communities because I want to learn. I'm in these events because I want to learn. I'm in these, all these different areas. I'm meeting with people. I'm reaching out, opening up 30 minutes of my calendar, because you just never know who you're going to meet and what door is going to present itself for you to be able to walk through. Right? So it's not luck. Luck isn't just going to fall in my lap and some magical person's going to drop in my DMs on LinkedIn and be like, I got a $500,000 job opportunity for you, dude. No. But when I consistently show up everywhere and I wear my heart on my sleeve and I show up in these areas with real value and preparation on why I'm going to that event or why I'm showing up in that community and how I can prepare myself, guess what? Opportunity is going to open up. Luck is going to provide itself to me because I'm doing the heavy lifting for it. I'm putting in the work to get myself there.
And this is the thing, right? You show up everywhere, but you don't necessarily show up everywhere, do you, Tom? You show up in the right places. You show up in the places that you're intelligent with it. It's not just like spray and pray. Hey, I'm just going to go all over the place. It's like, I want to be around these specific types of people. I want to be in these specific situations, and I want to have these specific types of conversations. And so when you are quote unquote everywhere, you're everywhere to the people that matter to you and that you're trying to get in front of, right?
That's 100% it, right? It's not everywhere as a large scale, right? But it's when you identify what you want in life and where you want to go, then you start putting in those pieces, right? I knew what I wanted to do 10 months ago when I joined Rev Genius and when I wanted to dive into personal branding. So what did I do? I started going around the people that I wanted to be like and see what they were doing. Like you said, you shadow them, you digest their content, you learn from them, you go in rooms on Clubhouse with them, you hear how they speak, you learn and you absorb and you watch. And that's how you create your own luck, and you start doing that preparation, and then you put yourself out there. The next thing you know, you're doing it too. And next thing you know, you're not trying to be at that table anymore. You are at that table, and so is right to your left and right. And you're like, how did this happen? That wasn't luck. That was hard work. That was learning. And that takes us to tip 3, right? So we've talked about being open and unbiased, be everywhere there's opportunity for you and for your family or your goals. And the third is learn constantly. So talk a little bit about this with us, Jeff.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody out there has read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, but one of my favorite habits of his is sharpen the saw. So the concept here is that if you're the most effective people out there in whatever they happen to be, they're always trying to improve. So they're reading, they're attending webinars or workshops, they're going to continuing education, they're shadowing people, they're trying new things and whatever else. And so the reason that makes you so effective is that you're constantly learning, you're constantly updating your skills, your awareness, your mindset, your just even your biases, your understanding of the world around you. And so what it is that when you are always switched on to what's happening today and sharpening your skills constantly, then you are prepared for that luck when it happens. So maybe person A and person B have the same level of luck. They have the same lucky opportunity, that $500,000, job opportunity on their lap. Well, if you're constantly sharpening your saw, you're going to crush that interview. You're going to crush that sales call when the other person might have the same level of luck, but they're not going to get across the finish line. So it's like you learning constantly. It's part and parcel to what you were saying, Tom, about like showing up everywhere. If you're constantly learning, you're learning beside the people who care about that thing, right? You're learning beside those people, and you end up beside them. You end up understanding what they need. You understand, like in a sales conversation, you end up understanding their pains a lot more than you ever have because you're learning about their pains. And you're learning about what's going on, and you're learning about ways to talk to them. So it's just amazing how much better it works when you're learning constantly, that lucky opportunities just show up.
It's just driving a larger net, right? Expand yourself outside your boundaries. Give to as many people as you can. Learn from them. Be in the same rooms. And ultimately, luck will show up in so many various ways, from just finding a new friend that might help you in life, right? Like you and I, others that we've met in our network in the past few months that have just been life-changing, all because we took a step to learn more and put ourselves out there into a community or into an event that, we were willing to speak at, things of those natures, right? So learning constantly allows you to sharpen yourself for those lucky events or so per se, right? And the last thing, and another tip is, not the last thing, but another one is just connect with everyone. Be willing to go out. Stop waiting for people to come connect with you. Connect with them. Write a meaningful note. Reach out to them. Provide them value. Say what you're trying to do and why they would be valuable to your feed, to your network, to your life, and let them know what you're looking for, right? Yeah, I will take any connection request like that. If you're like, look, I want to connect with you because I like your content. I like what you're doing. I'm trying to do some of this stuff, and I would love to just learn from you and just be around you, right? Great. Come on in, right? Like, let's connect. And you never know what luck is going to present because of that. But you have to connect with people. You have to give yourself that opportunity to even show up in the first place. If you're too complacent, you're too scared, and you're in this little box waiting for things to come to you, then you're going to have a really hard time really getting anywhere because you're just waiting for things to fall in your lap. It really comes down to always be evolving, always be driving, and prepare yourself to receive that luck. And just the final thing is just get up every day and just do it, right? Get out there, prepare yourself, learn, be open, be everywhere, and really drive that preparation. It's that famous quote, what is it? What's the famous one? Trying to think.
Honestly, all I think about is Nike's phrase. It's like one of my favorite things ever. Is just do it. Like I had this professor in university. It was for a course called Salesforce Management. Funny enough, right? Okay. But he wanted me to do this like elaborate. He wanted me to motivate a field sales team. This was the project. Motivate a field sales team. How are you going to do it? And because I sold electronics, I had this really elaborate commission, circle of excellence, they called it. And it was great at motivating us. I created this elaborate commission plan or whatever. And the guy literally you could just see him boiling while I'm presenting this. And he's just like, Jeff, stop it. Just forget it. This is so complex. Like, this will never work. Just pick up your socks and do it. Just get the job done and like show up every day and just do your job and it will happen. And I'm like, point taken, my friend. Thank you.
I mean, the quote that finally came to mind, and just like you said, is luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, right? When you're preparing to meet that opportunity with sharpening your skills, just doing what you know how to do and staying consistent with it, you put in that preparation for luck to come in. Like, it's just how it works. We can truly create our own luck. You want to become a lucky person? Stop being complacent and not putting in the work. I'm sorry, right? Like, at the end of the day, be consistent, show up every day. And I mean, for 5 years that I've done sales development, 6 years now, and been in sales for over 14 all the way through, I never did anything that like was life changing or shattering to continuously hit goal my entire career. I've never been on a pip. I've never had a real bad moment in not hitting my goals. You know why? Because I just stayed the course. I prepared and I stayed consistent. And I learned. If I was weak in something, I was willing to embrace that and learn from other people and put myself in that situation and go network with the people that were bigger than me. Take them to lunch and say, dude, I'm struggling here. How can you help me? Or meeting with others that were just doing it, right? And then just being consistent. There's no formula to it. It's just a matter of be everywhere, learn, connect, and be open.
Right. Yeah. So with that said, I guess we'll just to kind of summarize everything that we talked about today is that while you might believe that top performing rep in your team is really lucky and they get the best leads and they just happen to be in the right places at the right time, the fact of the matter is that there's 5 things that they do consistently that contribute to creating their own luck, and you can do it too. Is 1, it's being open-minded and looking at every situation as a great opportunity. And that doesn't necessarily need to be a sales opportunity. It can be an opportunity to learn, to grow, to connect, et cetera, et cetera. The second is to be everywhere there's opportunity. So be smart about the communities that you live in, but give it your all and make sure that you're there and you show up every day and that you do end up in the spots where your prospects hang out, where your customers hang out, and even where your colleagues hang out, because there's so much value to be had in those situations. There's learning constantly. So as part of showing up, there's also learning. So learn what your customers are learning. Learn what your best salespeople, best competitors are doing. Okay, consistently learn every day to keep ahead of the curve. Then it's connect with everyone. So that's part of what we were saying is be everywhere, learn constantly. Part of that is connecting with everyone and growing a big, genuine network. And then finally, it's just getting up and doing it every single day. So that's all we have for you today. Thanks for listening and happy hunting. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Fill the Funnel podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite platform, give us reviews, and tell all your friends about us. Till next time, happy hunting.